Witch Tarot or the Witch's Tarot. It's kind of an old school one. It makes me cheered up and happy just to see this one. But whatever they want you to know for Jack for the mini. Let's get into it. Wow. I wanted to do the Australian 10, but it's saying not to do the Australian 10. I'm going to do a 6 and then a 6. We'll see what's going on from there. We're getting reflections. Something about what you're looking in is being mirrored back to you. Really interesting. The mirrors and the reflections. The bigger mirror, the larger picture, and the small mirror. Which is which? We're going to see. The small mirror has just a portion of it. You need to pay attention to the small mirror's portion of it. But the big picture is going to be in these big cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's see what we got here. Hopefully you can see this coming in. It is recording. Okay, so here we go. There's this. Then we're going to go here into the smaller mirror and see what's up. This is reflecting back. We're going to have to start with this one first. I just saw something flipping there that was just wild. Let me see if I can get it again. There's a summoning of the power, an understanding of the power. There's something that you're feeling vulnerable and raw about in here. This is, okay, I'm going to show you this. Hopefully you can see. Okay, what's coming through here, scooch this up here since we're going back to that second, is the summonings coming through here. These are reading very oracle to me for a minute, but what we've got is you summoning, you doing things, you doing more than one thing, calling your power forward in a huge, huge way. This is the Two of Coins, trying to balance these things out, balance two different projects, two different resources, two different things that are taking your time that you need to, if it were budget and money, you'd need to figure out, do I want to pay for gas? Do I want to pay for groceries? Where do you want to put your efforts? And then the Magician being raw and vulnerable here, balancing these things and then bringing this up. This is huge. This is huge coming in. This says actually the Three of Pentacles. I misread it. It's upside down. I don't care. It's the Two of Pentacles energy. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what it's about. You'll know. You'll know. Take it as the two. We've got here the Seven of Wands coming in. Defending, and holding on to something. Something that's got you on the back foot. Something about boundaries. Look at this. She's got the magic in one hand and the little mirror in the other. You see that right there in the cards, in the imagery. You can see the little mirror. It's right there being offered. Don't offer how you see yourself to be seen through somebody else's eyes. For a moment, you might get a little bit of a teaser or a temptation of that. The little mirror is right here. There's a little mirror in the other one, too. We're going to look at that. It's coming up in this one. How you see yourself is more important. Coming through. This is huge. Knowing your strength, knowing your power. Wow. Wow, look at this. Okay, Jack, we've got this one. This is the Queen of Wands, the one that has the mojo, the one that's approachable. She's also got the spindle, the spinning wheel, and if you know the Sleeping Beauty story, you know what can be done with that. You know how that can go. The work is still there to bring something together, and if you're spinning, and some people that actually spin fibers into yarn, now they still do this, and it's very, very addictive and fun and good. It's like, I love knitting and yarn, but I've been told if you get into spinning and spinning yarn, watch out because it's so much fun. You'll never want to give it up. But it's pulling these magical things together, pulling these fibers, these pieces together for you. Hugely important right now. There's a raw offering. There's a lack of pretense. This is Six of Wands here, and I'm going to show this very carefully because I don't want to get too much trouble. It doesn't show anything, but I just want to be cautious. But the Six of Wands, a raw offering. This is coming in almost like the Star card. The Magician here and the Six of Wands. I want to leave those right there, and I'm going to show you this. So the raw offering, what's coming in is, this is taking off the mask, taking off the pretense, taking it down to the bare bones, offering what it is as earnestly as you can, as sincerely as you can, even if it's flawed, even if it's imperfect. This is something you are getting more and more mastery of, learning really, really well. When somebody else offers you their version of you, their mirror of you, you're not taking it anymore. The little mirror that somebody else offers is just a piece. It's just a portion, a small, small window, a small look into the bigger version of you. This is something you're aware of. Death and transformation coming in. Guys, transformation is a big word today. Death and transformation, death and rebirth. This butterfly after being caterpillar, There's a season where we have to be caterpillar for a while. The whole world and how we operate in it changes once we hit butterfly mode. This is feeling like what's happening for you. I'm going to flip this back down so you can see. I don't know if you've been able to see these cards as I've moved them, but we're going to move these right here. Okay, now here's this. The mirror is coming through. You're looking in the bigger mirror. This is your own mirror. It's not somebody else's. This is the Empress. She knows her value, she knows her worth, and she knows the process. Something about the process of change and transformation. If somebody's pregnant and they're just in their first couple months, yes, the transformation has already happened, but there's more and more going on in the months to follow. If somebody is undergoing a new project, starting a new endeavor, the beginning steps are only part of what the process is to complete it. There is something going on that's bigger than you, bigger than what you can see right now, about what you're birthing in the future, about what's coming forward. This is taking me to fall time. Why are we going to fall? We're going to fall. Gogs is coming through, and Gogs is one of my guides. He's coming through, and yeah. He's showing me the cave again, how he used to be in the cave so often, and then he's outside, and he's showing me basically a season change, the same space. He's showing me season change, season change, season change. We're in the fall, and it feels like winter's coming very early. So you're doing a lot of preparatory work from now through about September, August. You're pushing because winter is coming early. So it's going to be a little bit, you're preparing for a difficult change, difficult transition. When the caterpillar gets into the cocoon, there's a period of time that they have to be there, and it is a difficult transition. You're going to be doing another caterpillar butterfly cocoon type lesson. October, November, the trees are laden with the butterflies. Now that's not usually how the monarchs go in the monarch's path, but if you've ever looked up the butterflies, you have all these trees, and it looks like they just have leaves all over them, but it's actually the monarchs that are hanging off the branches. This is what's coming through. Yeah, you're having more you're having part of this transition, or a transition, and then an additional transition that comes in later. 7 of Pentacles, fruits of labor coming in. July, whatever it is you're doing, assess, reevaluate. Take time in July to reassess. It's time to pick. Don't be waiting. Resituate whatever is going on with your finances to create more security for you at that time. Put the stuff in the pantry. Yeah. Gogs is showing me baskets full of bushels, like a basket full of apples, a bushel full of apples, like taking it in. There's a preparation that you're doing. So whatever you're doing in your business or in your work, and whatever you normally do for savings or whatever that might be, put a little extra aside, You're going to want it in the fall. Okay. Moon comes in. This is where the intuition is leading you beyond your fears, beyond what you were afraid to do. You're doing something a little bit different. The path is more clear. Even though it's got only the moonlight, it's a big, full moon. Harvest moon type of energy coming through. Big, full moon. Pay attention to those time markers coming through. Okay, we're going through here. Now we're back to here. Here to teach you. This feels like you and the crone sitting down for a lesson. This feels like you understanding your own side. We have the experience of Mother, Maiden, Crone, whether we're in our youth or in our old age. We have these energies of the Divine Feminine that we tap into. So the one that has the process going on within them as the mother, the one that's before the process, or the one that's far after that particular process and going forward. There's lessons in here coming forward. The transformation lesson is right here. Next we have the Emperor and the King of Pentacles coming through. Wow. Emperor and King of Pentacles. There is somebody that is really supportive of you. This is a counterpart, and this is how you're balancing. You're balancing the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, and you are learning how to do it all on your own, but also preparing that you won't have to do it all on your own for an extended and expanded period of time. The Emperor energy of you taking it all on your own and learning how to do it in varying different roles is important for you at this time. And then this King of Pentacles, there's somebody that's a supportive friend coming in. It feels like you are balancing this out. And it's not something you have to even consciously do. It's something that you are already doing, already entering into this era where this balancing, transmutation, Temperance card coming through, balancing, coming through. One more card. Okay. I thought one, the deck thought two. Temperance. Oh my God. What did I just say? It's temperance and transmuting and balancing, balancing, balancing. It's coming through, it's coming through. Five of Wands is usually all these conflicting energies, all these conflicting agendas. Weed out the agendas that don't serve. And you might have to try a few things that it's like, you try it out and it's like, yeah, shit, that wasn't the right way to go. Why was I wasting my time doing that? You have to learn. It's experiential and experimental, both. And this is what you're learning to go forward. There's the Temperance card. Big, big, big. Follow your heart, sweetie. This is what you've got going on. This is huge, huge, huge for you. I haven't had this deck out in a long, long time. Today I was rearranging, and saw it, and I'm like, okay. And I really thought that the Spiritual Tarot was the one that we were wanting to go through for you. No, the spiritual lessons are all here. Don't be frustrated in the lesson. That's where you're at, trial and error, trial and error. Okay, so when you think of like science lab, high school science lab or scientists, they have, this is my theory. I think if I do blah, 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 this is what's going to happen. And then it's like, blows up in their face. No, that's not what happened at all. Think of it as experimenting. Think of it as playful experimenting in what you're doing. Don't be so attached to the outcome being exactly like you thought it was that you miss the gift of learning the lesson of what causes the big explosion, because those are the things you're going to use later. Yeah, think of it as if you are in science lab, in spiritual science lab, you are in your lab, in your spiritual lab, doing lots of things. One of the things to learn is that you're not just locked in on one particular zone, one particular aspect of spiritual growth. There's many that are coming in for you. It feels like you are meant to be playing as you experiment more, and to lighten up and not take it overly seriously. Keep going forward, but try a few different things. Music is something that you have not used enough. Yes, music is something that you have not used enough. There's something about that that's important. If you put music on as you're doing your magic, whatever it is, whether it's your baking, your cooking, whether you're doing hedge witch, kitchen witch, eclectic witch, sound healing is great, but I'm talking, you can do sound healing, but you'll take that too serious. You need something that you can dance around the kitchen to, going on for a little bit. You need to have more of that joy and loosening up of the physical form when you have that music going, and then go into whatever it is you want to experiment with, whether it's sound healing or tarot or mediumship or whatever. But you need to get yourself a little bit chill. Like I've said lots of times that I'll put on ABBA Dancing Queen or something like that to get rid of the bitchiness, if that's going on. So there's something about that loosens things up. So yeah, absolutely. I love ABBA Dancing Queen. I play it several times a week. I haven't outgrown that. So yeah, you need to raise your vibe and be deliberate in like doing that first, because that'll get some fun going on and that lifts the vibe. So that's what I've got. It's not that you're doing it badly, but it will take just enough of the serious off that you'll be more open to exploring and experimenting and playing. That's what I've got on that. That's complete. Holy cow, that was gorgeous. And this is called either the Teen Witch or the Witch's Tarot. And I probably ought to break that out a little bit more, because it does a great, great job. It's kind of cute, artsy. It makes me think of Archie and Veronica and all of that kind of art, even though it's a little bit different. That's what it makes me think of. But it does a good job. Really good job. Okay, Teresa, for a full general. 1 second, Teresa. We're going into the Crow Tarot for you. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, Teresa, a full general. This is MC Culhane's The Crow Tarot. So let's see what's going on with this. The Crow Tarot for Teresa, full general. Yeah, the Australian 10 is how we're going to start this one for you. Pull this down so you can see. Hopefully you can see what's going on. What we've got in the place of the significator is the Queen of Wands. The challenge for the Queen of Wands is sometimes sitting still. In this one, usually you see the Queen, she's sitting there, she's got the cat at her feet, she's the most approachable, the most central, the most confident of the queens. She's also very territorial. But the problem is sitting still and sitting in a place of peace when you have this below you. You have these beasts ready to get up and overtake things. How do you sit still with that? How do you confidently sit still when everything around or everything below feels like it's about to roar forward, right? How do you do that? This is where you're at. This is where you're sitting. This is the position that you are at right now. Justice is crossing this, so the balance needs to be there. This is very, very cleverly and gently balanced across the heads. It's not just like thunking one particular lion on the head. That wouldn't go well. There needs to be a balance. If you sit lightly with something, you'll be able to tolerate something a little bit different. And I'm not sure what this is about. Hang on one second. Okay. So if you sit lightly with something, it feels like it's not one of these lions getting bonked on the head. It feels like you're sitting very lightly with something. It's important. And when you sit lightly with it, you're able to see the perspective a little bit different. Justice comes into balance in a different kind of a way. Okay. We've got the Ace of Cups and the Page of Wands right here. We've got the Ace of Cups and the conscious thoughts and the Page of Wands right here. This is new messaging coming up subconsciously. And then the Ace of Cups is overwhelming emotional opportunity, spiritual opportunity, and growth. This is something new, something offering, and it's the optimal of it being offered to you at that time. It feels like your emotions may be feeling like a little bit out of balance, out of whack, and a little all over the place. And that's kind of creating an issue with your confidence. The moon under here, there's something that is causing a little bit of fear about how you want to take the path forward. This is balancing the wild dog with the domestic dog, right? And seeing the trail that the moon has lit up and getting out of the fear, out of the water, past the gates of fear, and continuing on your path. You're being called to move somewhere in a direction that scares you to some degree, has you a little nervous, a little bit of a nail biter, right? It's time to do that. The world is right here. If we look down at this cards, the world is right here. This is the recent past. You've graduated something, you're moving through, and this is something that is really time you've moved beyond. There's advancement that comes. As soon as you're up out of this water, you're on your path, right? You've graduated something. Your time to be in the water, in the overly emotion and not acting and not taking action, that time has passed. Action is right here. The message of inspiration coming through, calling you to act. The world where you've completed something, going forward to the Two of Coins, where you need to balance something, where you spend your time and your resources needs balanced. Again, I'm drawn to this Queen of Wands. It can't be bonk, bonk, bonk on this side, or just enough nervousness that these lions are getting tapped on the head. Just pop, 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 pop doesn't serve. You need to figure out what it is that you need to do and sit yourself somewhere smarter. In a way, you need to travel light, but you need to carry the one wand, the one ambition, the one stick with you. Travel light, carry one wand with you. Hopes and fears, it feels like you're trying to carry too much. The burden is big. Don't carry that. You're carrying too much of something from the past and it keeps you stuck in fear. It does not serve. Balancing the Two of Coins here, and here we have the Two of Wands trying to balance. Usually we see this card and somebody's got the world in their hand, right? And then they've got what's on the horizon and they're trying to think about it. It's like you can't have all the answers to tomorrow today. You can't have all the answers to tomorrow yesterday. What you can have is, I know I can figure this out. I'm not sure what I'm going to come up against, but I know based on my track record, I've been able to figure out my next few steps. And that's all you need to do. You don't have to have everything outlined from now until the next decade of time, forever and ever, amen. No, you just need, what are the next few steps that make sense to take? That's all. You get in a space of overwhelm, and it does a number on your head. You don't need to do it that way. Okay, I'm going to scooch these cards back and make room for the highlights reel to come in. So, hang on. I'm going to flip this down again. 1 second. Okay. Don't give power to others that would seek to like ding you or diss you or disrespect you. Don't give too much thought, too much power to somebody that's trying to get into your head. No. You know how the song is, a hater's gotta hate, hater's gonna hate. Who cares about them? Who cares? You're moving through to something new, that's something beautiful for you. And if they are not meant to move forward with you, they are going to stay out of the way. And it might be that you are moving solo on your own for a little while because you have graduated and moved forward somehow. I want clarification on this, and then we're going to go to the highlights. So what's going on? Haha, yeah, okay, yes. The world is here and the Two of Cups is here. You are moving forward to a better partnership, perfect friendship, perfect business offering coming in here. Equal offering. You're not settling for something that's a lesser offering. You're not settling for somebody that shows up 10% of the time and then tries to sell you that they're your best friend, or you owe them, or you're obligated because it's familial, or even just familiar. No. Okay, that's the devil trying to hold you back, hold you back, hold you back. When these are here, this is the things that we would hold to that are old, outgrown, and we don't need to be buying into those chains anymore. You are trying to do something, move yourself forward in a huge way. And you can't have as much of the past going forward as you thought. See, Chariot here, trying to move yourself forward in a new way. Can't have as much of the past, having the Nine of Cups here. Your dream, what you want to move towards, what's emotionally fulfilling, is right here. If other people haven't shown up to support you in whatever it is that you're trying to do going forward, they aren't going to suddenly show up now. If they show up randomly or in a flaky kind of manner, or in a way that's unusual, or they think they've got all the advice under the sun on how to help you move forward, you know what you need to do better than they know. You've been living it, doing it, putting the time and paying your dues. You have completed something. It's time for you to move forward into perfect partnership. But this isn't because somebody in the past has suddenly reoccurred. No, this is you knowing what it is you desire. Knowing it is that you've figured things out for yourself going forward. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I love this. Four of Wands. This is synchronistic timing. You are ready to go through the threshold, to dance through to something. This is weddings, graduations, and birth. This is graduation, completion, graduation, moving forward to something that more perfectly suits you. Why? Because you quest for the grail for yourself. This is important. When I talk about questing for the grail for yourself, you are taking back your power, or recognizing your power, and not putting it out there for others to have inconsequential input that causes you delay. That's what it feels like. This feels big, big, big. Anything else she needs to know? You just stay and ride the white horse for yourself. You don't ride it for somebody else. The high ideals that you have for yourself are for you to ride. Don't keep your head in the clouds. Get a little bit more grounded. Go forward, go forward, go forward. The time has come for you to do this. It's like you're not waiting for somebody to pick you up and take you somewhere. You're getting in your own damn car and driving somewhere. Yeah, put this burden down. This is what gets in your way sometimes. The hopes and fears and waiting for somebody else to come along. You carry too much of a burden. You need just the one wand. You need just one of the wands. You're choosing to have two, and you need just the one. The one that you have, you've already had for a long, long time. Anything else? Queen of Cups. Don't look back. Look towards her hopes and dreams. She is the most psychic of the queens. She is the most ready. She's usually holding that chalice or the grail in her hand. She'll think about what was lost in the past. She'll reflect on it. But she doesn't wallow. She doesn't get stuck in it. So she's going to get up off the throne and go on her course, on her way, in a different way than she has before. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the card that means betrayal or heartache. Sometimes it also means an uncomfortable thought, because the swords are about thought, that causes us pain, that causes our heart to hurt, but helps us move forward. Then these last two, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Coins. Yeah, it's like the seed is planted and it's been watered and ready, and it's ready to move forward. This is what's going on. Been through deaths in the family in the last couple of months, divorce coming for child. Lisa is ready to send. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Sorry. I thought I read something that's not helpful on this. I thought that was pertaining to this. It's not. What I'm getting is you moving forward is more important than you realize, in a way, without what was holding you behind towards the past, without the waiting. And the Ace of Cups coming here is what's in the conscious thoughts, and it's right here. It's duplicated. So you got to put the burden down. That's coming through strong. And go towards where your spiritual and emotional truth is calling you. This is huge, huge, huge for you. This is what's going on. This Queen of Wands is going to get up and take some flight. This Queen of Cups is getting up and taking some flight. You're riding the hero horse for yourself. Kobe is Teresa. Okay. So whatever was past, regardless of how dramatic and how big that it has been, you are not meant to be chained in the past. You got the Devil and the Chariot. You're not meant to be chained to the past. You're meant to be moving things forward in a balanced way. That's not to say what you've been through isn't consequential and big and huge to experience, because it is. Anybody who's ever lost anyone, and particularly in the way of death, has grieving to do, but it's not meant to hold you back. It's not meant to keep you stuck and trapped. You are meant to move forward. Move forward. You've got the wheel around the world. Okay, yes, yes. The wheel around the world. It's like the Wheel of Fortune when you move through this particular portal. It's the laurel wreath, it's the glory, it's the victory in moving forward. It must be done. That's what's coming through. That's complete. That's gorgeous. And this is the Crow Tarot from MC Culhane, and it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's what I got for you. Good luck, good luck. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a big one. Okay, Sandra for a mini. What does she need to know? Yeah, and when I speak and I get impassioned and strong about this, you trust your higher self over anybody. That's important for you. And know that it comes from the heart, not because I'm bossy and I know all the answers for everybody. No, I certainly don't. I certainly don't. Trust your heart and trust your higher self and take it with love from here. That's what this is about. It's not that I think I've got all the answers. God knows I don't. I just read cards. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. You understand. Good. All right. Okay, Sandra Amini, what does she need to know? Let me get some water and then we'll take a look. For Sandra. Okay. Sandra, we are in the Fairy Spirits, or I think that's what it's called, the Fairy Spirit deck. I think that's what this is. Tarot Spirit Within, something like that. But it reminds me of fairies in the forest, and that's where we are with you. Wouldn't it be so funny sometimes, I think, if here we are thinking the fairies are so small and they're all going around the little mushrooms and the fairy circles and the clovers and the bases of the trees and all of this that's going on. And we think of them as so small, but wouldn't it be so funny if we were actually the fairies? Wouldn't it be so funny if we were the small, and if we think of giants or aliens or great, huge angels and seraphim, wouldn't it be so funny if we were the fairies? So this is the adventure through the woodland in this, the Spirit Within the Fairies. Let's see what's going on for you. Yeah, we do all have fairy in us. I think so. Very, very true. Okay. I'm getting the Dandelion Puff. The Dandelion, I think some people view the Dandelion as having the 3 celestials in it because it has the main core and then it has this core and then it has the outer core. So I think it thinks of, some people view that like sun, moon, and stars, all the 3 celestials coming in. Also, it would indicate the 3 stages that's coming through in this as the Mother Maiden Crone coming through. All of it's coming through. So what do you need to know right now? Let's take a look and see what's going on here. Okay, back down to the cards. Okay. Oh, here's the fairies under the mushrooms right now. There's a time of great synchronicity. Sword of Truth is in the center. And 8 of Wands. There will be a speeding up going on. So this is what's going on these sides. So let me bring this so you can see this. I'm going to try and bring it in a little tighter. There we go. Okay. The synchronicity. This is also a card that indicates spring, but it's weddings, graduations, births, moving through that portal. It's like you're standing on the threshold, and even though you're moving forward, when one foot is through the threshold of a door, the archway of a door, you're not quite through the door, but you're not quite in the room that you were in, and you're not quite fully into the next room. This is the space and place that you're at. You're 1 foot through the door. It feels like there's one more time that comes around for a reminder from something from the past. It's once more as before. This is coming through a reminder. It doesn't feel like a huge thing, but a reminder. It's okay. I'm getting the song "I Wish I Were a Kid Again." It's an old Streisand song. It's once more through the door, once more as before. She's talking about wishing she was a kid again, doing the things that she did when she was younger. Yeah, that's what's coming through, High Priestess. There's something about this youthful energy that wants to come through. It's not so much what you did as a kid, it's the way you trusted things when you were young. Now, sometimes we're kids and then all of a sudden some kind of drama or trauma happens or some unexpected thing happens and part of our childhood just goes out the window so fast. And it feels like there's a point where we're all young. We're all, babies, infants, toddlers. It feels like this is maybe 6 years old. Often when I get a kid again, I'll get the 10-year-old reference. This feels like about 6, maybe 5 or 6, where you're learning letters, you're learning language, you're learning, taking in so many things. Once more as before. Once more through the door, once more as before. Kid again. Yeah, that's what's coming through. Something about this is important for you to know, that this, going back to this way of trusting, it is absolutely necessary for us as humans to be able to trust that we're going to be able to make it. Like, babies are born and they're looking for their mom. They're crying for their mom. They're the most vulnerable, the most incapable of speaking. But by the time they're 2, they run the universe. A 2-year-old runs the universe. They know how to manipulate, demand, get what they want, how to make it known what they want. Trust that you know actually what you need, that you know what you want, and trust yourself to be able to learn, and that the universe has you more than you realize. Now this one, beautifully shown. It's the 7 of Swords. It is Sneaky Pete the Thief. It is cover your ass, but it's also got strategy in there. A little bit of an element of the King of Swords in this one. So in this one, you can see they're sitting by the tree. I'm going to show it to there. And they have the swords in their hand, and they're sitting. It's like they're trying to contemplate what do they want to do. So they've gathered all their thoughts, and they've taken themselves away from whatever is the hubbubbery to gather their thoughts for a moment, to think, what do I need strategy-wise? What do I believe? What do I trust? What rings true? What is the truth that I must remember? You have to go back and remember. I don't have a duplicate of this deck. I want another deck. We're going in the land of story right now. Or the Fairy Tale Tarot or something like that. I'm not sure which it is. Storyland, whatever. We're going there. Where are we going? Give me a second. Getting what you wish for just by taking the desired adventure, by taking the leap of faith, getting what you wish for because you take the leap of faith. This is huge. This is how you set up new structure, and this is how you set up your independence. That's going to make more sense to you than it does to me, but that's what's come through. Take the leap of faith. It brings you the independence. The Queen of Swords suffers no fools. She says, cut the shit. She gets the bum rap as the bitch, but she knows what she's doing. She can be sometimes overly serious, but she knows what she knows. The truth that you know is the truth that you know. This one isn't busy play. They're thinking, what do they trust? What do they believe? What do they want to carry forward? She knows what she knows. Those aspects of you need employed once again. You send out a bird in the 9 of Pentacles. You send out the bird, you get some information, you get some feedback, then you go forward. Okay, 5 of Cups. You're leaving the past behind, the grief behind. This has a little bit of the flavoring of the 8 to it. And I think it's mostly because they're turning the back on what was past. Usually in this card, you see this person and they've got all of their focus on the grieving, all their focus on the 3 spilled cups, right? This one, she's not that focused on the 3 spilled cups. She's got 2 in her hand. She's ready to go. The 3 are back here. It does have this tinge of this 8, knowing what's going to be fulfilling, knowing what you must leave behind. Yeah, it's disruptive, but there's desire to advance coming through in a big way. Now here we have the 8 of Swords. If you have the 7 and you add one more, you're getting the 8. But if you have the 8 on their own, they're trapping you. It's limiting thoughts, doubts, ways where you're discouraged, beliefs that are inaccurate. This is why you need this moment to sit with the swords and sort through and really find what you feel is true and accurate and right for you to move forward. Then things come in quickly with this 8 of Wands coming in quick, quick, quick. What else is happening under here? There is something about books of childhood. I'm getting the imagery from the Cat in the Hat when the 2 little kids are sitting inside the house and it's raining outside and they aren't going out. There's nothing to do, nothing to do. It feels like you shouldn't be waiting for the Cat in the Hat to come through your door to make all the mischief. Instead, it's those kids needed to get their asses off the chair and go outside. But that's what I'm getting, that kind of image. I would go back to some of the books that you read in childhood. The imagery is going to read a little differently for you. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Things like Babar and Lyle Crocodile. Things that you had as books as a child. I don't know why I'm in there. I don't know what books you read as a child. They're there. They're there. The perspective that you see is different when you see it now. It is going back, seeing things again. Things like you'll see things in a story that are funnier to adults, even though they're reading it to a kid. And it's not that it's off color. It's just funny because adults would get why that would be tricky. And now that you are an adult, you can look back and understand why some of it was tricky. When my daughter was a kid, she was 5 years old and wanted to drive the car and was so mad at me for not letting her drive the car. She was 5. Her feet could not reach the pedal at all. She did not understand why she couldn't drive the car. It feels like you go back in time to examine this and you get a little bit more truth than you thought you would. And it settles really, really well. It's a good truth that is recovered. Okay, what else? Yeah, you're going to have to go back and do that. That's what I've got, the Knight of Swords. This is huge, huge, huge. Huge. Charging forward a little bit recklessly with this new truth. The Queen's going to do just fine. The Sword is what you have to handle. The truth of what was going on before is coming through strong. When you were a kid, you knew how to get things done, how to handle things, how to get what you wanted. You didn't let things get in your way. You weren't considered overly ambitious just because you were a kid and you wanted dessert. You just wanted what a kid would want. Anything else? Be confident in what it is that you're going forward and towards. Yeah. Don't let the heartbreak get you. You know the new truth is there to help you grow. It's going to be painful, but it's there to help you grow. The victory is right here. Be confident in what you're going towards. If this is heavy, ditch some of those swords. Get some of those old beliefs out of the way. The victory is really, really closer than you think. Anything else? The Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Wands are lining up right down the center of this. Here, here, here. Anything else? Any other challenges or anything else you need to know crossing your path? Oh. You will be choosing to leave something that feels like it's more comfortable, feels like it's more affluent, more warm, more friendly, but it doesn't feel like it fits you. These are the people that are leaving the church. They feel like poverty, ruin, poor little match girl, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. But really, they are leaving the rough waters behind. This is what's going on. Don't doubt yourself. You are not poor little match girl. Not at all. You are ready to move forward. You're Queen of Swords. Just because you're cutting something that doesn't serve you doesn't make you lesser for having to make the cut. If somebody's trying to put something together, say somebody's trying to put a play together, and they have to get somebody just right for the role that they're producing this play, they're going to have to cut people that aren't exactly what they need, exactly what they want. And as much as somebody might want something, it may need to be cut. So if that's the case, if those decisions need to be made, you shouldn't feel guilty or you shouldn't feel in lack because you're making this choice. You need to remain true to yourself. This is huge, huge, huge. This is where the victory comes in big, big, big for you. Big, by being the Queen of Swords. That's what I've got for you. That's complete. Holy moly, I love that for you. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous energy on that. Gorgeous. All right. Yeah, that was beautiful, intense, and beautiful. So that's what I've got for you today, honey. Let me get some water, and we'll see what else is going on. Okay. You are so welcome, Sandra. You are so welcome. Hopefully that helps. I'm not sure what all that is, and not all of it is easy, but it is good. Really, really good. Okay. Kim says, Krista, a full and a pinch. Krista, we are going to go to the Ara Tarot for you, and then we'll do the pinch afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. So this is the Ara Tarot. I probably should have ordered a third, but this is the Ara Tarot, A-U-R-A. Maybe you call it Ara, however you guys want to say it. For Krista, a full and a pinch. I'm getting something about pudding and Rice Krispies in the kitchen, simple cooking in the kitchen. You know the old Rice Krispies commercial where she would throw flour on her face because she worked so hard in the kitchen? I'm getting the kitchen, something about that for you. I'm not sure what it's about. It feels like you need to be baking. It feels like you need to be playful. It feels like you need more time and you need to create something that is fantastic but not that difficult. But, you know, it's going to require a little bit of effort and it's going to be fun and it's nostalgic. I don't know why. But the Rice Krispie Treats commercial is coming in, and I think they did that commercial like in the 90s or something. Maybe the early 90s, late 80s, but that's what's coming through. Okay. Wow, this is coming through in a really, really weird way, and it's a way of amplification. Okay. So what I've got here, and I'm going to flip this down so you can see. I've got the single card and then two and then two and then four and then four and then one. Really, really weird to see this. It's like what you do, the effort you make is exponentially magnificent. It's like those Rice Krispies when you put the effort in and everybody loves it and they think you worked so hard. This is something that is playful and enjoyable, engaging for you, but also is exponentially fabulous. The King of Swords has a plan, has a strategy, makes a plan, and is ready to do it. It's little by little by little. Step at a time, follow the directions. There's a certain set of rules, structure, step at a time, and logic. And you are thinking about what needs to happen down here when you're already here. So you're here, you're thinking about what's happening in the bigger picture, and you need to see that, but it needs to be simple. It needs to be simply done. The puzzle piece. Hang on one second. That puzzle piece is not wanting to drag. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that puzzle piece comes up sometimes. Okay, so we're back here. So we have the Knight of Swords wanting to go forward recklessly and the Knight of Wands. These are the two most reckless there is. Holy shit. It's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum on steroids with horses taking over. Bull in the China Shop and Reckless Truth. Bad communication if he's not careful. This one encouraging more wild and not careful. This is not good. This one has a plan. This one has methodology. This is the plan. This is the plan. These two are raising all kinds of trouble, rabble-rousers. Not necessarily raising hell, but definitely doing, taking action that's not quite as effective as it should be. It might take them to where they're going, but they might, if these were two young teenage boys in the kitchen making Rice Krispie treats with you, you'd be cleaning up the kitchen for far longer than you ever needed to take making the Rice Krispie treats. This is craziness going on. These are two forces, the knowing and the inspiration, and crazy going on. It needs to calm the fuck down. Two of Cups needs to be offered, not two crazies. And the Magician, the magic happens on its own, but it needs to be orderly. A magician always knows how the trick is done. A magician knows how the trick goes, knows the supplies that are necessary to pull it off, right? It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen by accident. There's something, you can't go crazy on this. You need to be more methodical because that's how the magic is created. That's how the even pairing comes in. Okay, now let's see what's going on over here. Again, the impulse, the conscious impulse, that's these higher cards. Flip this down. The higher cards here are going to have you wanting to go. The higher cards, the higher impulse. I'm telling you, hold steady, dear. Hold steady. Let your subconscious bring something up. Let your subconscious bring something forward, okay? Is that making sense to you? All your reads having the horses in them. I'm going to get back in the cards. That means you've got a way of moving faster than you realize. And that also can sometimes indicate impatience. These two are very much feeling impatient today. It means you're moving faster than you think, but you need to be clear-minded. Okay, into here. Where does it amplify? How does it amplify? These two here, these two here. How does it amplify? I'm going to bring these in a little closer into the shot, but just know that these two and these are 4. And it's like there's a line going through here, up, down, up, down. If you saw a heartbeat monitor, or if you saw a radio wave or anything that's got a sine, a wave, it's this, the waves are getting bigger and bigger. The distortion, or what you want to see happening versus what's going on underneath the surface, is bigger and bigger. It's amplifying, okay? Here, this one. We've got the 3 of Wands. We know I call this Santa Fe burger. We know you're waiting for something, right? And this one feels like they're procrastinating. They're not. It's just you need to be very clear about which of the cups are important. So spend your time not just daydreaming, but daydreaming about what is important to you. So you're not all over the place. Narrow the flights of fancy. Narrow the thinking in the mind to what really is important and emotionally rewarding for you, so you can get the truth out of the situation. Hugely important for you. Hierophant says, yeah, you're having access. You're moving forward. You don't need all 7 of these cups. You already know what it is you want. You don't need all 7. Focus on what's important. Again, focus up, focus up. Focus is going to be challenging for you right now. Hierophant says you're getting the keys to advancement, the keys to move forward, the keys to carry the day. That's what's coming in here. Now let's see what's going on below this. Page of Swords. Of course, you're getting the 1 sword. Perfect partnering here. Equal offering here. The 2 cups here, the 2 cups here. 2 is the 2 of cups here. But the 7, I told you to focus on 2, and I really mean it. They will harmonize together well. Whatever this is, focus on just 2 of the things that go together in a way that can be blended well. Okay, Page of Cups coming through. There is a surprise in how that happens. The Sword of Truth brings it through. There is a surprise in how this happens. Okay, something that I can give you that is a good analogy for this. Poetry and music. When those come together, that creates song, right? Then you can layer in a vocal. But first you have to have the lyrics, the poetry, and the music that matches that poetry. That's what needs to come together. That's what it feels like this one is thinking about creating. It's exponential. It's not just a poem. It's not just the music. And it's not just a vocalist randomly warbling like a bird that's disgruntled. No, this is what's coming in. It is amplifying. What you're actually mulling over subconsciously as you're consciously creating the Rice Krispies in the kitchen. You're consciously doing something else. Your subconscious is busy doing these things that you don't need to be thinking, overthinking about. Just choose 2. Keep your focus what it is. The universe will drop in the divine bits and ingredients as it needs to. 9 of Wands. You're holding and you're defending. You've got this. Your resilience is wired in. Queen of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful. Very, very approachable. And someone will approach. This feels like somebody approaches you. This is part of the surprise here. Somebody bringing in the stinky fish tea. They're bringing in something more than what you thought. Here somebody presents the offer. Here, this cup has the fish coming out of it, right? I don't know if you can see this, but I'll show it to you again. Right up near the top, you see the flying fish coming out of there. Right there, under my fingernail. Right there. Feels like the person is bringing in something more substantial than you think. So this is great. It does come in. It comes in a really great way. Now, this is what's coming through. This is the outcome, walking away from something that doesn't serve, that confines. Let's go into the second deck and see what's going on. Because you've got the keys to the kingdom. You've got the keys. The Hierophant gives you the keys to the church. You've got the keys. You understand where you've been before. You understand the trail you've trod before. You understand how you got to where you are. Now you need to understand the value in the 2 things that you want to take forward. When we go on a plane or we go on a trip and we travel, we can't take everything under the sun. You know, it's like you get your carry-on, you get maybe one other overhead bag, and that's that. It's like you need to economize what it is that you're doing with your energy and what you're doing with your dream time, your plan time. You need to scale it in, rein it in. You need to get strategic about what it is you want to do. The list of 3 that you like what you've done, 3 that you don't like, it will help clarify. I don't know what that's about. That's coming through. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. What does she need to know? Wow. You are in the session of amplification. So when it feels like you're cutting, you're actually amplifying. I'm going to show this to you. Okay. What we've got is the 5 of Pentacles. The Lovers. You're going from the soul contract to the soul path, and they will weave together as they should. Just like the words of the poet weave with the music, and they weave together as they should. It's almost like it's already harmonized and knowing that it will come forward. You're leaving something behind and going towards the 10, going towards generational breakthrough, legacy, wealth, inheritance. Leaving the 5 behind feels like scary and like, oh no, oh no. The 10 is right here, right here. 8 of Wands is going to bring it through in a hurry, and don't refuse the cup that's offered. This one. Don't refuse this offering going forward. It's huge for you. Even though it's the stinky fish tea, it's so important to see the substance there. It's not that the song would be lesser. The song isn't nothing without the words, and the words aren't nothing without the song. But when they combine, it's 1 + 1 = 5,000. It's not 1 + 1 = 2 anymore. Amplified. King of Pentacles. Yeah. Whatever it is, the talent plus the other talent added in creates multiple talents. Legacy. This is how it creates breakthrough. Bringing those things together creates something huge. That's what I've got. That's what's coming through beautifully for you. I don't know if that makes a huge amount of sense. Is there any time signatures coming through in there? No. Now, sometimes I can get a time signature. I'm getting no. And when I'm getting this no, when I get a strong no like that, it means if you put a time on this, you're going to pressure cook, you're going to look in the wrong direction. No, you can't pry open the rose is what's coming through. Strong. You can't pry open the rose. I'm getting, I've said that a lot. You can't pry open the rose. You got to let it bloom. But I'm also getting that image. I think it's Beauty and the Beast that they have that stupid rose that's under the glass, whatever. You can't pry open the rose. Whatever it is beautifully gifted as it is. Let it come in and amplify and harmonize how it does. The thing to do is make the choice to be true to your heart. Make the choice to bring your offering, your talents, and your gifts in whatever way that you can and let them amplify. This is what's going on. Yeah. If I get the no, it means they don't want you to know because it will put pressure on you in a way that you're going to try and force something. No. You'll have a nature. You'll set up enough time frames for other things. So the time frames that you want to set up, great. But the time frame for the rose to bloom, it's on its own time. It already knows how to do it. It knows once the rose hits water, and if you've put Sprite in the water because it's good to make your flowers last longer, it knows how to unfold. So nourish the gifts. That helps them unfold. That's what I've got. That's complete. Holy smokes, that was gorgeous. Absolutely a stunner. I love that for you. Love it. But that's what I've got. Really, really beautiful. So, all right. You get that? You get in your head about it? Yeah. Don't get in your head about it. Get in this place of enjoying the gifts. Yeah, okay. So my friend Sarah is really great with flower arrangements and decorating all this. And she cuts all of her flowers on the angle. She slices them on the angle underwater. And then she pours a can of Sprite into the vase when she puts the flower arrangement in there. And they last forever. I don't know why. They just last a long time. So she does a hell of a job with that. So there you go. No, I'm not Martha Stewart. Never would be. But she's a little bit more Martha Stewart. And yeah, always has the gorgeous flowers. Hey there, Emily. Hey. So that's what we got. I'm going to get some water and we'll see if there's anything else we need to get going. So Kim, keep me posted. Krista, a pinch. Thank you. Okay. I'm getting something about like a circus tent going on, and I'm getting imagery of like bicycles and roller skates and wheeled things and all of this stuff going on in the circus going on right now. I don't know what's going on with this right now. A lot of creativity under the big top is what's coming through. Let me angle this down and angle this down. We'll see what's going on. Wow. Creativity under the big top. The hobos are coming through. This is like the Fool coming through. You have to try out lots and lots. The Fool's coming through big. Something that you're attached to, and it's interwoven into your heart. Huge. That feels like a light pinch. We're gonna get a little bit extra more on that. Something that's interwoven in your heart. You're attached to the time. Again, this is asking you to be time blind about what's going on. What is it? And the bloom. This is everything from the everything that I've told you before in that past. Pay close attention. Yes. But now allow yourself to creatively play and explore. Let things make messes. Let things get creative. Try painting, even though maybe you never wanted to paint. Try sketching, try coloring, try something that's an artistic expression in multiple different venues, multiple different avenues, all the different wheels coming through. Again. There's like a lion on roller skates in this kid's book that my sister used to have. I don't know what that's doing. Why is he there? Oh, I'm also getting references to Pickle Chiffon Pie. It's a book that when I was a kid, I want to throw these charms. I'm going to move these forward so you can see these are forward. This is the undercurrents. Let me sprinkle these. Okay, throw these. All right. Oh, okay. Much more going on below the surface than we think. This is giving me the top of the tent. This is what's going on below. Okay, the star is way out here. It mattered to the fish. It mattered to the fish. That always comes up with that. The starfish that gets thrown back to the ocean rather than being made the offering. It matters to that starfish. The work wasn't done. The starfish has to go back and finish completing something. This is down the path. The flower has to bloom in its own time. We've got the key and the anchor. Stay grounded in what you're doing as far as your level of patience for something. And the key is right here. So if anything you need to succeed in, you need to succeed in trying new things more than you need to succeed in cooking or baking or painting or knitting or any of the things. You need to succeed in trying creative efforts and discipline yourself to create and to experiment and try and again. The key is in the persistence. The key is in the strong determination, in the attachment to the opening up and unlocking of the gifts, not to the time, not like you got to pay a lot of dues to get really good at art. You got to invest a lot of time to do that. But it's not so much invested to the outcome as it is into the moment of creation and understanding the gift of the creation. That's when things bloom. That's the Sprite in the sauce. Yes, that's the Sprite in the sauce. That's the fizz coming through. You got the pink flower here. That's the frosting on the cake is what I'm getting. Cake is just cake without the frosting, and some people love the frosting, some people not. But it feels like it has to have it. It feels like the fizz, the bubbling up, all of the Sprite in the flower sauce, all of that magic that's coming through that adds the extra burst of life and adds the extra joy in there, that comes through when you creatively play and explore, and the determination to do that. It doesn't mean that you have to try a million things, but you have to continue to try to create and be lost in the creative moment. When you're lost in the creative moment, that's when like athletes are in the zone. Okay, I'm gonna switch this up for a minute. When the basketball players are making a shot from way further back than half court, and they're just like, they're on fire. They can't miss for nothing. They are in the zone. When we are in the creative zone and we're creating, whether we're writing, drawing, playing music, whatever, when we're in the creative zone and we lose track of time because our heart is invested in that moment, in that present moment of being and creating, we aren't evaluating and judging and picking on ourselves. We're creating. When somebody emotes when they sing, they are creating. When somebody writes poetry that rings so true, they are creating. When we're lost in that moment, we are present. That's where the magic is for you. I don't know what that's about, but that's where it is. All right, back down to the chart.